Oh, we have a lot of enemies coming in here. Okay, this is going to be kind of fun because I do have AoE abilities. Actually, really fun AoE abilities.
Come at me, creatures. Come at me.
Hello, Reformers, and welcome to Warhammer 40k Inquisitor. Now, this is a game actually developed by a developer that I very much like. They have been responsible for games like the Van Helsing series, The Adventures of Van Helsing, that is, the action RPG, and they also created a game called Death Trap, as far as I'm aware, and that was more of a tower defense kind of game. But it did enable you to create your own character and wander around the game world and, you know, defend against waves of monsters. And that was actually very fun. I actually found that very enjoyable. Anyway, for this game, you can pick between 3 different classes. As you can see here, we have a Psyker, a Crusader, and an Assassin. I'm probably going to be picking the Crusader here because I just want to wade into all the enemies and just do a huge amount of damage. Now, obviously, the Psyker is going to be a little bit more of a caster, and the Assassin is going to be moving around very, very quickly and being able to dodge all kinds of things. Anyway, let's pick the Crusader for now. Before rising to the rank of Inquisitor, you served as a Crusader, the holy warrior of the Adeptus Ministorum. Crusaders display their devotion to the Emperor as honor guards or executioners, and such is the zeal of the Crusaders that it makes them ideal recruits for the Inquisition. And they have a focus resource, as you can see here. They must spend focus points to operate power armor and heavy weapon skills. Focus is a Crusader exclusive resource, recharging with time at a fixed rate. Now, these guys are the only ones capable of wielding heavy melee and ranged weapons, as you can see here. So I'm very much looking forward to this. Ooh, you can actually pick an expertise as well. Okay, I was not particularly knowing about this, but I'm kind of wanting to do assault because that's kind of cool. I think we should probably do assault, right? Yeah, power sword, great sword, and suppression shield. That seems pretty fun to me. It's also equipped with a light but effective jump pack. Long jumps across the battlefield and deal impact damage at arrival. The heavy gunner also looks really, really good. Demolition armor with an auxiliary missile launcher system. And then you have the tactical armor as well. Sentinel armor, ancient power armor variant, equipped with a sophisticated tactical cogitator and a teleport beacon system. Oh, look at that. The wielder can summon automated tarantula turrets. That actually sounds really fun, but I kind of want to go melee, so that's what we're going to do. Alright, so there is 2 modes, story and challenge. We're going to be playing for the story here. And, my name, I have no idea. I'm just going to call myself just my name. Alright, let's do this.
Inquisitor's log. Classified report. Scheduled for later transmission. I am closing on the source of the inquisitorial distress signal I was assigned to investigate. The coordinates I received from the Caligari Conclave led me to a desolate system. There were many delays during the journey. The intensity of the Caligari warp surges is beyond anything I've experienced. These anomalies are spreading through the subsector like a tidal wave. The distress signal has an ancient encryption used by the Holy Orders. It is authentic, but extremely old. The signal is coming from a battered fortress monastery that was likely spat from the warp when the tide of the surges swept through the sector. There is no response to our hailing signals.
Inquisitor, this is your captain speaking. I'm still trying to hail the monastery, but I get no response.
The hull looks intact, though. I think it was simply abandoned a very long time ago.
Then what do you expect to find over there?
Something that once belonged to the Inquisition. And lots of empty holes.
Sounds exciting. I've instructed your pilots to land on the hangar deck.
Stand by and wait for my signal.
Inquisitor, the automatic defense system has been activated. The turrets are attacking you. Do you...
Well, that didn't really go to plan, did it? I remember the deafening roar of the turrets. My Imperial carrier was trailing a blaze of fire and smoke as it smashed into the hangar deck.
Captain, do you copy? Captain Van Winter, can you hear me? Strange. Vox communication is jammed and I can't use my teleporter device. Something must be disturbing my signal. I will record everything in my audio log, in case I don't return. Inquisitorial log, new entry. While attempting to dock in the hangar of an unknown fortress monastery, my transport took heavy fire. I suspect that the automatic weapon systems were activated, but I don't yet know why. The transport has been destroyed, along with my equipment. My pilot is dead. I will pray for him later.
Alrighty, so we have landed, albeit a little bit worse for wear, I suppose, and we're going to be walking around here. You can obviously see and probably hear that the footsteps of our fellow right now are very, very heavy indeed. That must be an effect of the power armor.
Mindless servitors were created for menial tasks, but having a flesh drone just for operating the door seems excessive. Open the door! An ancient cogitator. Let's see if the tech prayers still hold. It might have information about this place.
Oh, wow. Okay. I don't even know what we're getting here, but apparently there's a lot of bad things going on. A lot of warnings right here.
Just as I suspected. It's a pile of rust. At least I found some interesting diagnostics. I should check all the cogitators on the ship for other details.
I see. Well, at least we have a nice map, and the map is giving me a pretty straightforward path.
Human remains. The time of death seems recent. I don't like the look of the marks on the bodies. Something... Oh, yes. The perfect weapon to deliver the Emperor's justice. Creature of chaos. Can you withstand my faith?
What? We already have an enemy like this? This is a big guy. This is a very big guy indeed. Okay, let's see if I can actually take him out. Well, it seems like we can very easily.
Ancient Imperial ship infested by chaos. So be it. Let's cleanse the taint then.
Alright, so we do have weapon sets as well, so I think I'm probably going to be using the Greatsword for much of the gameplay here, just because I personally feel like if it is indeed a two-handed, I hope it's a two-handed at least, and you can equip 2 weapon sets for each mission. Press the tab key to switch between them. Note that the switch will set all your weapon skills on cooldown, so you cannot just, you know, switch around in combat however you wish. Ah, there you go. Ooh, that's a nice two-handed sword there. Alright, so I can just hit this. Get out of my way, barricade.
New log entry. I have found a room tainted by the filth of chaos. There is also a Tech Priest maintenance shrine with a functioning cogitator. It could contain information on how I could turn off the Vox jammer.
Ah, incident log. The Martyr opened fire on an approaching rogue trader vessel, causing considerable damage and loss of life on the targeted ship. teleportarium signals are regularly jammed, blocking entry and exit to and from monastery. Conclusion. After thorough investigation and questioning, I can safely claim that no personnel were involved in the incident. The defense turrets opened fire without any human involvement, and the signal blocking any teleportation attempts is generated automatically. Probable cause, system malfunction. Okay.
I found new information. There is an emergency cogitator nearby where I could turn off the jamming signals. Open the door!
It is in the walls now. Everywhere. Taint. In the machines.
By the Emperor! What foul abomination is this? Talking servitor. It might be mind-locked, but this is still unusual.
It did actually open the door for us. So, I guess that's okay. Ah, there's a whole bunch of enemies here.
Well met, heretics. It is time for you to die.
Alright, so let's do this. I'm gonna actually just take a quick look here, because there is a cover system. So if you did select one of the ranged classes, or indeed one of the ranged subclasses, like I didn't, but if you did, then you can press space to take cover. Attacking enemies without concern is a very relevant combat style in the Warhammer 40k universe. But there is another way. You can use many objects, concrete barriers, barrels, etc., as cover by holding the spacebar. And there is an option, by the way, in the options menu where you actually don't have to hold the spacebar. You can actually just press it once, as far as I'm aware, and I think I've enabled that. Anyway, if an object can be used as cover, a yellow marker will show you the available positions. Your character will automatically take cover when you press space. While in cover, you can launch ranged attacks but cannot move. Some cover positions may restrict your firing angle. Keep in mind that cover can be destroyed. Alright, so considering I'm just using a greatsword right here, I don't really need to worry about anything, and they just kind of explode. Oh yes. Yes, that's exactly what we like to see. Okay, everyone dead? Yes, everyone's dead.
Finally, that's the cogitator that will disable the jammer. I couldn't turn off the teleportation jammer, but the Vox should be fine now. Captain Van Winter, can you hear me?
Inquisitor, finally. I thought we'd lost you.
It would have been quite convenient for you, I suppose.
Trust me, I'm on your side. I'm not saying I don't want my ship back, but who would clear my name if you died in battle?
Your loyalty is quite admirable, Captain.
Ah, and now we seem to be through to a kind of lobby system, I suppose you could say. Anyway, that was the first mission, the Survivor, and now the second one is making contact. I've made it out of the hangar where I have found evidence of a serious chaos infestation. I need to investigate this further.
Our augurs have picked up a Vox signal not far from your location. It is transmitting on an Imperial channel. It could be important.
I'm on my way there.
Oh yes, we certainly are. I'm going to switch to my greatsword again. I very much appreciate using that. Navigation is easier with the map overlay. Beyond the general layout of the level, it also displays markers for important game objects such as chests and resupply boxes, as well as flashing objective markers. Alright, so that's pretty cool. So there's the map overlay that I've just enabled there, and that's actually a lot easier to use, in my opinion. And then, of course, we have the focus resource here. I don't know whether we really want to read about this. It's only very short. All classes in the game have a special resource that is used to activate unique abilities. Crusaders have the focus resource. And I assume this is my focus? No, that's my suppression resistance. What's my focus right now? Seems like... Can I... there's focus. There's my focus right there. Okay. So at least we know what that is. And I'm gonna go in here right away. And we're just gonna absolutely murder everything, apparently. That's a cleaving attack. Very nice. I like that. Is there anything else to do here? No. Okay. So I do actually need to try out that last ability. I've tried every ability with the exception of focus and the other melee ability.
By the Emperor.
What have you found down there, Inquisitor?
Some unlucky members of an Imperial retinue. This is a shrine, dedicated to the ruinous powers. Somebody really wants his dark wishes to be fulfilled.
In other words, there's something on that ship that requires human sacrifice. Wonderful.
Oh yes, how fantastic. Oh well, anyway, let's go in here and see if I can do some damage. Oh yeah, I very much like that ability. That is probably my favorite ability so far.
Let me taste your flesh. For the Emperor!
Ooh, what's going on here? Okay, so there seems to be some issues again, and there's a personal note at the bottom that says the machine spirit is slowly becoming insane, and it started to override the defense systems, destroying some possibly harmless void craft trying to land on the deck. We must act before it sheds more blood. I don't need to remind you the fateful consequences if such information becomes open knowledge. It all must remain confidential. I submit this invocation in the name of the Omnisia to the wisdom of my trusted Hierophant. So do bear in mind that I am not very well versed in the Warhammer universe.
Enemies of the Emperor, I'll blast you to smithereens. A proper welcome committee at last. That grenade could be useful now.
Oh, okay, well I'm gonna use it then. Oh, that was some nice damage right there. It's actually on a cooldown too, that's pretty nice.
This commander is tough. A worthy enemy at last.
Well, that was certainly easy enough. I mean, I think we're doing pretty well so far, mainly just because we could just run straight in there and do massive damage. That was an enemy commander, by the way, and we were able to eliminate them very, very easily. Some enemy formations are led by commanders, turning a ragtag warband into a tough fighting force. Leaders can issue group commands and bestow bonuses upon the whole unit. So try to take out the commanders as quickly as possible. And as I was saying, I'm not particularly well versed in the Warhammer universe, so some of my pronunciation will probably be incorrect. Anyway, let's just move on and see what this is. I hope you are reading this. That's the safest way for us to communicate. If they find out what we are planning, they'll execute us. Hide your messages in the maintenance sermons and make them look like simple devotional notes. We need to plan our next step. There are huge problems on the research decks. The Red Sanctum has been quarantined. Note B. I've received your message. By the Emperor, this is bad. Same here, down here. Nobody knows where the Martyr is headed, and with Uther holed up in the Sanctum and his seconds in charge plotting against him, I have no idea where to turn. Note A says once again, Uther will be our death. Think about it. He promised us immortality and glory for the Imperium, and now we have what? Those things in the Dark Zone. We must get out of here immediately, or shall we join the others? Okay, well, that's added a little bit of lore, of course. And it seems like I actually do have a limited supply of grenades. I think I have 3 left.
I have found a corpse of an Imperial soldier. I'll take his data slate. It could contain a recording that could shed some light on what happened here.
Wow, that's a pretty big enemy, or maybe it's not an enemy, maybe it's actually one of us that has just gone crazy in some respect. It seems like that might be the case. Alright, so there's the jump pack, by the way. That was the jump pack that I just used. It uses focus.
Fallen Adeptus Astartes.
What? Did you just say that there was a dead space marine down there?
He must have been a member of that unlucky Imperial reconnaissance team I found.
Allow me to clarify that. You only found pieces of them. So it'll be just you against something that tore apart one of the mightiest champions of the Imperium.
Don't jump to conclusions just yet, Captain. It could easily be more than one creature.
Oh yes, how wonderful. Okay, so there's some medical supplies. That is going to refill my inoculator, which I can use with 0? Yeah, I can use that with 0, and that will heal me by the looks of things. That was another commander that we eliminated right there. Not too difficult just yet, but obviously this is still the tutorial level, basically. Oh, we have a lot of enemies coming in here. Okay, this is going to be kind of fun because I do have AoE abilities. Actually, really fun AoE abilities.
Come at me, creatures! Come at me! Die, heretic!
Just like I thought. Very fun. Very satisfying indeed.
Team Sigma, this is Chaos Thorn speaking. Team Sigma, come in.
I'm afraid Team Sigma won't be responding anytime soon.
What? Who are you, and what are you doing there? Taking a stroll on the decks? By the Emperor!
Mind your manners. I am an Inquisitor, and I don't tolerate...
An Inquisitor? About bloody time. I thought your lot had followed Lord Klosterheim into the Dark Zone. Listen. We're under heavy attack in the control room, so I'd appreciate it if you could join us while we deliver the Emperor's will until our most triumphant death. Thorn out.
New log entry. I established connection with someone from an Imperial expedition on the ship, but he is clearly confusing me with someone else.
Well, there we have it. That is the first real mission completed, and as you can see, we will be gaining a little bit of experience points and gaining ranks. And now I'm not entirely sure what this does, but... oh, we can actually open up some item box by the looks of things. Which is going to give me, some better armor and some credits by the looks of things. That's nice. And there we have it. Yes, we actually did gain... we also unlocked another item type. A chainsword, so we can now start using chainswords, and we can of course start upgrading our character as well. So for example, I can replace my terrible normal assault armor with Mars assault armor, and that's going to be a little bit better. And we can also upgrade our skills. So if we take a look at our skills here, we have close combat, and there's a whole massive talent tree right here. So if you're worried that maybe the talent trees are not going to be super massive, well then don't worry about it, because there's a huge amount to spec into here. As you can see, there's all kinds of wonderful things. There's even damage over time, criticals, and all kinds of things like that. So I guess I'm just going to be speccing into melee damage. That seems to be the best thing to do, and we'll just continue to gain melee damage here and just get damage bonuses. Successful deflects provide a stacking 5% damage bonus, and then it eventually goes into critical hits and all that sort of wonderful stuff. Anyway, that will be it for this episode. If you'd like to see more, then let me know. Otherwise, I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.